Hi Quilty friends, this is a video to show you how to make combination units using your Tucker Trimmer 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. Remember, the only difference between a Tucker Trimmer 1 and a Tucker Trimmer 2 is the markings on them. A Tucker Trimmer 1 trims to whole and half sizes. Tucker Trimmer 2 trims to quarter and 3/4 sizes. Okay, so today we're going to make a combination unit. I've kind of started here a little bit. What I want is a cut size unit of 5 inches. In other words, when I'm done making this combination unit, I'm going to trim it up to 5 inches. That means in my quilt, it will be 4.5 inches once it's surrounded by pieces on all sides. So for a 5-inch cut size unit, I have to cut my combination starter squares at 6 inches. So I have two 6-inch pieces here. Okay, I've drawn, using my magic wand, the lines down the center, and I sewed on them already. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to trim down the center, or cut down the center, to turn this into two pieces. Okay, and for the configuration I'm going to press these seams open. Okay, there are some instances where to make combination units you might want to press them to one side, but your directions should tell you that, or you will figure it out very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to press these open, and then I have to draw a line again on one of these units using my magic wand. I have to draw the lines. Okay, now I'm going to give you a preview of what we want this to end up like. What we want is we want a square that looks like that when we're done. Okay?
Also called a quarter square triangle?
Yes, also called a quarter square triangle. Okay? So now I'm going to take and I'm going to put my lines using my magic wand. I'm going to do it on here because this likes to shift. Now notice I did not trim these yet. I left them whole. I just sewed them, cut them in half, and pressed them open.
I don't think we did the yellow sheet you're drawing on there.
That's a piece of sandpaper, really fine sandpaper. It helps to hold the fabric in place and the ruler. See how it keeps my fabric from shifting it really is helpful. Okay. So
and
now
you can buy individual sheets of it at the shop.
Yes, you can.
Like
so you don't have to go buy a great big package of it. Okay, now I'm going to put this on so that this goes like this. Okay, I don't want to do this because then I'm pretty much back to what I had. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So that's what I always do. I always check and make sure I'm getting what it is I want to get. I'm going to line up my corners, and now I'm going to sew on both these lines. Okay, remember you're going to use a small stitch length, 1.8, because this is the same as piecing. And I want to be sure my corners are staying together. And I sew just barely to the inside of my lines. And I want to pay attention that I keep my seam pressed open. And now sew down the other side. make sure that my lines, that is matched up there. Okay, it looks good, and that I have the right configuration before I cut. Okay, let me get rid of these threads. Okay, now I'm going to cut down the center again. I'm going to press these seams open. Good. Okay, now you're going to use your tucker trimmer. And remember I said I want a 5-inch finished size. So I'm going to use the end with the whole circle because 5 inches is a whole number. And I'm going to put this on here, and the lines in the middle should correspond with my seams. Okay, and I make sure I have some to trim here, and I'll have some beyond the 5, so when I turn it I have some to trim there. Now I trim 2 sides. I don't think I cut. And now I turn it and trim the other 2 sides. And now this time my 5-inch mark should be along here, plus my middle seam should all line up. This is really easy. A combination unit is actually easier to line up on the tucker trimmer than others because you've got the X in the middle that lines up perfectly on the... So again, put it on here, and my lines should all line up. I have a little to trim here, and I still have a little to trim there. Okay. Across the top. Turn it. Should be on the 5-inch mark here, plus my centers. So you have a perfectly centered combination unit ready to go into your quilt. And that's how you use the tucker trimmer to make combination units. Okay?
Beautiful.